Welcome to Fri-yay, Entrepreneurial Clinicians. It is tools down, well, almost a couple of things I still need to do, but I am looking forward to the weekend. I have some lovely things in store. I can't believe I got through the week. I did not have a pleasant day yesterday. My pain symptoms got out of control, triggered by a very stressful situation, which should not have been as stressful. It was like, all those compounding factors that you finally go, and it just takes one little thing to tip you over the edge. And my edge was, I'm going back to bed and taking my migraine back to bed with me. So I am very much celebrating the fact that I am migraine free today, celebrating that I got up, got myself organized, went to yoga, did a really good class at yoga, and was able to reflect on where I have come to from where I started. 7-8 years ago when I started yoga, actually probably 6. So I had decided I was going to learn how to do long distance running, ran myself into a really bad back injury and hip injury. And it took me a couple of years before I built up the confidence to go to yoga, because like a lot of people who have done a lot of traditional exercise, I'm like, yoga, what can it do to help? And I turned up at this studio to find a very steep staircase. And when I first started going to yoga, there were some days when my back and my hip were so painful that to get up the stairs, I actually needed to go up on my hands and knees. I haven't thought about that for years. And now I am holding poses and able to ask my body to do things that I had back at that time I would never have thought I would be able to. Hello, Kelsey. Lovely to see you here today. You've had an interesting week. So it was a great reflection for me to be in that class today, because we get so used to wanting the big bang of the awesome thing to celebrate, right? We all want the light bulb, the life-changing moment, that event or that person that speaks that word or that phrase from that book that we go, oh my God, that is the best thing ever. Or there's, somehow somebody decides to send you an invitation and you find yourself on some sort of speaker circuit, or somebody asks you to publish a book, or somebody shares your video and it goes viral. Or we're always waiting for these massive, great big things to celebrate. I've had 2 absolutely wonderful entrepreneurial clinicians in my world this week. They're one-on-one clients where I've had to help them understand that we need to come back to basics and actually celebrate really small things. Because if you think about it, the sum of the small things is what leads us to our progress. So 7 years ago, I was crawling up a staircase, sometimes on my hands and knees, to be able to attend a yoga class. Now I can sometimes run up those stairs if I choose to and do the class. And I, this year, am committed to getting to 3 classes a week. I'd actually like to push it to 4, but we haven't quite been able to do that consistently yet. So it's the sum of the small things, and we forget to celebrate those small things along the way. So one of these delightful clients, I got her engaged with her kids this week, and she now has her own star chart happening because she got behind in client notes. Raise your hand if you've ever been behind in client notes, and it becomes the bane of our existence. We angst about it, we ruminate over it, we know it's dreadful, awful, and horrible. It helps fulfill the prophecy that we are slack, awful, horrible, and suck as clinicians, and that we'll never do anything else. And getting your notes back together and on top of them is a tough gig. So she was finding this tough, and she's got other tough stuff going on in her world, don't we all? And I thought, wow, what a nice way to be able to sit down with her kids at the end of the day and get them to ask her, hey mum, how did you go with your notes today? And if she's got her notes up to date, then they get to give her a gold star. She thought that was fantastic. She thought that was so much fun, because she still has star charts for her kids, and now she's got a way for them to do the star chart thing herself. So I thought that was pretty cool. Then I have another client who's just opened a second office and has more staff than I can care to think about, and is buying furniture and running around marketing her stuff, and all the things that go with taking on a brand new office space and basically doubling everything. And she was getting so bogged down in the fact that she hasn't got all the policies and procedures, and this person isn't following that, and nobody knows how to change the toner in the printer, and what happens if the Wi-Fi goes down, and why can't you work out where the keys are, and who's going to change the toilet paper. And she was taking all of that on board herself. So she told me she's got this massive whiteboard in her staff common area. And I thought, why don't you put a progress line of when you've moved into this building right through to, I don't know, give it 6 months, because that's how long I think it takes for this stuff to actually come to fruition, and actually start marking the small things that come off. Like today we saw our first client from at this site that was referred to this site. And today somebody else changed or Mick, whoever he is, changed the printer ink. And today I logged into our EHR for the first time because, she decided to change her EHR at the same time that she opened an office and added 20 people to a team or something incredible like that, because people are awesome and we work it all out. So my strong suggestion is we've got to get used to celebrating the small wins along the way. So I've had 2 compliments paid to me this week, and one of them has to do with my word bloom, which is my word for the year, and why I have a tree behind me. But the symbol is a magnolia flower. And because I just think it's got this strength and dignity and beauty in that. And if you don't look after magnolias, they can be fairly robust and hardy, but also they'll let you know if they're not happy. So I just thought it was a really lovely symbol for myself. And somebody took the time to actually tell me why she thought blooming and the use of the magnolia flower was actually a true statement of me. And that has meant so much to me that statement is now written in my book of evidence, because Jill, I can't thank you enough for the way you put that together. And another one of my gorgeous clients this week sent me an email after our one-on-one coaching session where she's gone, and this is why I work with you, because you helped me get my head out of my ass. Now, that's possibly not something I want written on my LinkedIn profile, but it was really powerful and poignant for that person, because she's starting to feel like, she's not worthy of participating in things, that she can't get this sorted, that she should already have it all sorted. So those testimonials for me have become really powerful, because I did something this week that I'm not proud of. I had a meltdown, and I look back on the meltdown now and go, that was ridiculous. And it had everything to do with my obsessive control disorder and nothing to do with the situations that were at hand. It was a complete overreaction. But guess what, people? I too have meltdown days. The meltdown in itself isn't going in here, but what I've learned from the meltdown is going in here, because it gave me such a clear picture of what it is like for me and for the people around me when I am starting to feel out of control, how I go to the things that I can control, and they are usually the things I don't need to be involved in, and I usually end up causing a bigger problem. And then I get frustrated and annoyed, and then I get stressed, then I get tense, then my body inflames, and then I end up with a migraine. Boom, 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 boom. So there's quite a direct behavioral benefit for me getting this under control. So what is it that you're going to celebrate this week? Have you recognized something about yourself? Have you made a decision or an intention to not put up with a certain behavior? Or have you recognized that somebody has said thank you this week? Have you connected with somebody in a way that was unusual, but you're proud of yourself for doing it? Have you got a new web thing done? Did you create your first image in Canva? Because some people love Canva, some people don't like it at all. Have you been able to ask for help? What are the small things that you can be celebrating this week, allowing you to go, hey, I did that, and I'm so glad I did that. So it's coming up to the weekend. Hurrah, we've got more rain. It's been raining on and off all day. I went and checked one of my tanks earlier, and it's almost full, and we got 3 of them. So that's pretty cool. They have been empty for a month or more. So I'm very excited about having filled tanks. But now I'm like, what do we do with all the overflow water? It can just go into the ground. That's what can happen there. And fill up the water reserves and the water table and fill our dam. So maybe we can get rid of the water restrictions. That would be kind of nice. I am going to go and explore some more of my family china this week. So this is a Noritake. I've got to do some more research. It looks like this is a 1970 stamp here. I'm going to go and hang out with my son and maybe even meet his new girlfriend. That's a mum thing to do. Sunday, hang out with my husband. Oh no, we're going to go and have lunch with friends. And yeah, so it's a bit of a social weekend for me. So I won't be working at all. Yay, good thing I know that now. So I want the rest of you to make sure you are well prepared for the weekend, that you know what you've got on to help you rest and replenish and come back next week ready to be the force of change that you want to see in this world. Because remember, none of us can give out and give out and give out unless we're replenishing ourselves from the inside out. So until I see you again next weekend, go be your awesome self.